It's a pleasure to join you virtually. I always enjoy my time with newly elected officials, and even though I prefer talking to you in person, I'm very glad we could arrange this today. I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. I'd like to give you a brief overview of what my office does and our roles, and I think this will help you understand how to use us as a resource. The Secretary of State's office oversees 4 divisions of government: Auto Dealer Services, Securities, Business Services, and Elections. Our Auto Dealer Services Division oversees any business that makes, sells, or destroys a vehicle in Indiana. And while the Auto Dealers Division doesn't often capture the public attention, it's very much dependent on relationships. We work to be in constant communication with our state dealers and want all businesses that interact with the state to have the best customer service experience possible. That isn't really something that government is known for, but at the State House we're changing that, one phone call at a time. It's also our duty to make sure that the state's financial planners and stockbrokers and the firms that they work for operate with integrity. And when those firms and brokers stray, it's our duty to ensure that those swindlers are brought to justice and that we help victims recover. This is accomplished through our Securities Division. In the first few months of my time in office, we had a front row seat to some horrifying stories of Hoosiers who were duped out of their life savings by making a bad investment choice. But we don't just go after the bad guys. We also strive to educate investors, and that includes you. We want to arm you with knowledge so that you can make better investment choices. Our office also seeks to award restitution funds as a way of returning a portion of stolen money to victims. The Indiana Securities Restitution Fund has helped victims recover over $500,000 in payments since 2010. We also spend a great deal of time with students and seniors, giving them the tools they need to be financially literate. Then there's the Business Services Division. I'm proud of the fact that Indiana strives to provide a business climate that fosters innovation and growth among businesses large and small. During my time in the legislature, I heard an idea knocked around the State House regarding how neat it would be to have a one-stop web portal where businesses could conduct all of their dealings with the state instead of sitting on hold for hours with different agencies and filing paperwork in 6 or 7 different places. Our staff took hold of this idea and began working towards a one-stop shop for businesses that launched in 2016 to great acclaim. That one stop is now known as InBiz. For the newly elected recorders, my business services team also commissions the state's notaries and takes UCC filings. This will most likely be your crossover and connection to my office. If we can be of assistance, please reach out to Rebecca Longfellow, my business services director. She has a wealth of knowledge and can help you understand any of our business processes. Then there's the Election Division. This is the place we get the most attention. As Secretary of State, I'm Indiana's Chief Election Officer. Since 2016, we've been increasingly focused on cybersecurity, protecting our systems from interference and ensuring every Hoosier voter can exercise their right to vote. Of course, a global pandemic introduced some interesting twists. Many of you will be directly interacting with the Election Division on a regular basis, so I want to make sure you understand its makeup. The Election Division is comprised of a completely bipartisan staff. There are 2 co-directors that are appointed by the governor, 1 Democrat and 1 Republican. Then each co-director hires their own staff. For each Democrat, there's a Republican and vice versa. I wanted to point this out because many people assume when they call the Election Division that they're getting a Secretary of State employee. Well, in a way you are. They are partisan staff hired by a co-director. I encourage you all to take a moment and familiarize yourself with the teams. You can find more information about the Election Division staff on our website. To the newly elected clerks, you will be working closely with the Election Division. The Election Division helps counties when they have questions about the law or need additional resources. The Election Division handles all campaign finance reports for all state and some local candidates. They also certify the results of the election after all absentee, in-person, provisional, and military ballots have been counted. But lost in the conversation about COVID is the fact that Indiana has put tremendous efforts into protecting our elections from cyber threats. Elections here happen at the county level, so we've worked closely with the county clerks on a number of security initiatives. One such program was the expansion of multi-factor authentication to all counties. It requires those with access to our statewide voter registration system to use more than a single password and/or login when on a computer connected to the system. It can be a phone call, a text, or an email, but they must be at their desk to receive it and log in. Additionally, it restricts access to working hours for each employee. So if I'm a part-time employee that works from 8 to 12 on Mondays and Wednesdays, that's the only time I can access the system. As emphasized by the FBI in 2016, multi-factor authentication is one of the most critical tools of cyber defense. I also want to stress that our election machines have built-in safeties. Voting machines are not connected to the internet, nor are they connected to each other. Prior to use, all machines are inspected and tested by the Nonpartisan Voting System Technical Oversight Program, or VSTOP. VSTOP provides training to all 92 county clerks and their staff, and recently launched a new certification program to train election workers in cybersecurity, physical security, and electoral best practices. VSTOP is hosted by Ball State University. Perhaps the most significant step we have taken in recent months has been our agreement with FireEye Inc., an industry-leading intelligence and threat detection company that provides cyber defense services. FireEye is a service we are providing to help block cyber attacks and protect our election systems from bad actors. This protection comes at no cost to counties. We have negotiated a contract with FireEye Inc. that will provide complete support through December of 2022. There is no requirement that counties continue services beyond that date. FireEye is spreading quickly, which is a good thing, and as of today, almost all of our counties are utilizing FireEye sensors. This is not just in the county clerk's office. This is in the recorder's office, the treasurer's office, etc. This is county-wide. You may be familiar with the name FireEye because they were recently in the news. FireEye is the company that caught the massive breach of the United States government by, most likely, Russia. FireEye secures most of the three-letter agencies in D.C. and is in close contact with our national security leaders. I believe FireEye is the best way to ensure Indiana's elections continue to stay safe and secure. I know I've just given you a lot of information on what my office does, and I don't expect you to remember it all. And if we were in person, I would be happy to answer questions. Unfortunately, it's not the case, so let's do the next best thing. If you have any questions for me or my office, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can contact me through MacNicole at mnicole@sos.in.gov or at 317-234-8104. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your training.